allegiance to the flag
To the flag
of the United States of America
America,
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First, we have our approval of minutes from our town board meeting on January 6th, 2020. Do I have a motion for that, please?
So moved.
I'll second it, John.
Motion by Mr. Martin, seconded by Mr. Ranger. Is there any discussion? Okay, Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Ranger,
Aye.
Mr. Cobb,
Aye.
I'm an aye, carried. Oh, he is? Is John on the,
Yes,
John on here?
I am. Yes,
Oh,
John,
sorry, John. I apologize for that.
not a problem.
Mr. Bershkovich.
Yes.
Okay, carried. All right, next, I'm gonna kind of jump around here a little bit. I got that speed study for Kinderhook Road, Andy. Is that all taken care of?
I didn't
We
get,
talked about-
I didn't get a
we talked
copy
about-
of it.
You got a copy of it, or you need?
I
it?
didn't. No, I didn't.
Okay, I got a copy here, so I'll get it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, okay. Next, we have to do our retirement resolution. Everybody has a copy of that.
Yes.
Okay, need a motion for that, please?
So moved, John.
Motion by Mr. Bershkovich, second.
I'll second it, John.
Second by Mr. Martin. Is there any discussion? Okay, Mr. Bershkovich,
Yes.
Mr. Kopp,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Ranger.
Aye.
I'm an aye, carried. Let's see here. Okay, public hearing on the spectrum resolution. I need a motion to open up that public hearing, please.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Bershkovich, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Martin. Is there any discussion? Okay, Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Bershkovich,
Aye.
Mr. Ranger,
Aye.
Mr. Kopp,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay, public hearing is open. Is there anybody here to speak for or against the proposal from Spectrum Cable? John, you just want to kind of go over what it is so the folks know that are on.
Okay, so before we hear from the public, we've renegotiated the town's agreement for a cable franchise agreement with Spectrum. We did it with a number of other communities to get leveraging power. And I did send out a memo to the board featuring some of the upgrades that we're getting, the additional benefits. We're going to get the highest franchise fee that's offered, which is 5%, which is a move up from the 3%. We negotiated some additional language for late fees that are, if they are not paid to us, although I don't expect that to happen, with an interest of prime plus 1. We made the agreement more readable and easier to understand. We consolidated some of the terms. We expanded, most importantly, expanded the definition of gross revenue to maximize the amount of money the town might be paid. The 10-year term is the standard term. They've been pushing for 15. You're better off at 10 years. They've agreed to that. There's language in there that Andy will like that deals with working within the highway right of way and restoration of damage to town property. We added some language in there about the insurance that they have to cover to protect the town. There's indemnification notices that go both ways where they used to only go one way. And a number of other things. I won't bore you anymore about it, but we actually improved the agreement for not only you, but about 4 or 5 other towns we're negotiating with at the same time. So those are the upgrades. And now you're required by law to have this public hearing, which has been opened, right, John? You opened it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's open. Okay, is there anybody here to speak for or against? Okay, seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing, please.
So moved.
Motion by Jeff Martin, second.
Second, John.
second by John B. Is there any discussion? Okay, John Berskevich,
Aye.
Mr. Ranger,
Aye.
Mr. Cop,
Aye.
Mr. Martin,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Carried. Okay, we have no budget modifications. We have one firefighter application, Ian Witchley from Chestnut Ridge Road has applied to the North Chittenango Fire Company. I believe everybody has their paperwork correct.
Correct.
Okay. Does anybody want to nominate Mr. Witchley?
I will, I'll nominate Mr. Witchley. Dennis called me yesterday. He told me about him and said he was going to put it in, and read it all looks good. So I'll
Okay.
make a motion.
Okay, motion by Mr. Cop, second.
Second.
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Martin. Is there any discussion? Okay, Mr. Martin,
Aye.
Mr. Ranger,
Aye.
Mr. Cop,
Aye.
Mr. Berskevich,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Carried. Okay, is there anybody that has anything else while I'm here before we turn this over onto the PDD discussion? Okay, Mr. Martin, you are on.
Okay, thank you, John. We've come a long way since this process began in May. Just to go over a quick recap, it was turned over to the town planning board. They worked with Jeff to deal with the compliance issues that he needed to address. It got turned over to us in September 8th in a positive note saying that they recommended moving forward with this PDD. And as a board, we've been discussing how to get to the final end and get this into a resolution that we can bring to this board and either approve or disapprove of it. The problem still is that we are not compliant. We're close. We're extremely close. SWIP review was very recently completed, and they're continuing to work on that right now. But I can't bring this resolution in front of this board because we would not be able to make a negative declaration for the SWIP review. So that's where we are in this process at this moment. Mr. Taylor,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I guess at this point, due to Bart and the Judas' lack of urgency, which we were supposed to have everything by Monday so we could proceed, and they didn't get it done. I guess I'd like to ask for a special meeting next Wednesday with the town board where hopefully they can complete what they have to complete. I have everything that I need to hand to you guys to be completed, and possibly we can get a vote then and put this behind us. I'd like to avoid the abeyance because I don't really want another nasty letter from the lawyer written to the judge.
I think we're all at a point where the abeyance goes till the 30th. And Mr. Taylor, I believe you're saying that you don't really want to go on. I think this board does not want to continue either.
No, especially not given the recent letter from the lawyer to the judge. That was uncalled for. So I'd like to avoid that.
So it's up for board consideration. Do we want to consider a special meeting to give this resolution the opportunity to complete its compliance issues and vote on it for next Wednesday?
Jeff, the SWIFT, it all started way back in June, didn't it? And there's a June date, a September date that this was kind of, we all knew it had to be done. Could you have started on it a little bit earlier, or?
Actually,
Actually, it's
Yeah,
a
go ahead.
SWIFT plan. It's a SWIFT plan, not SWIFT plan.
Okay, yeah.
And there were a little bit of hangups. Jeff and I were going back and forth and figuring out. And I mean, if we want to try to blame me for not starting earlier, I can also blame the delay on the $3,500 bill that no one made me aware of till the very end when we were almost completed. So to say that this is a delay of my fault, the town could have had the SWIP plan.
Yeah.
The town could have had the SWIP plan reviewed a couple weeks ago or more with plenty of time, but basically refused to do so. unless I paid the $3,500. I requested, due to the pandemic and us not being open, that I was able to pay once the zoo is open again with funds because we've been closed and things like that. But that request was denied, so that delayed it. So to put the blame on me is no, you can't put the SWIP plan to blame on me. But I feel like Jeff and I have been making good progress. We've been going back and forth. We haven't agreed on a lot. I've learned that the town does not negotiate, which I don't know. That's your standpoint, but Jeff and I have worked well together, going back and forth. So hopefully we're near the end. So I don't think placing blame of when the SWIP plan could have been done or not is irrelevant.
So the question is, does the board want to consider a special meeting?
This is we're talking 1 week, is that correct?
That's correct. It would be one more week. It would be within the abeyance constraints at this point. Yep.
I'll make the motion to extend it to that 1 week.
Is there anyone who wants a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Harry?
Further discussion on this motion?
Jeff, let's just make sure that we put a special notice out for a special meeting and another Zoom link so that everybody and the public can attend to comply with the governor's executive orders. Let's just not forget about that part.
Okay. So we have to make sure that that gets completed. John, are we in compliance with the special meetings notification times? Are we okay on that?
You got time. We should get it out tomorrow right away.
Okay.
Okay, can I just ask Jeff to speak to the fence? I know, what I understand, a partial fence is what we're talking about now. Any reason why the fence couldn't be extended all the way from the road up to existing fences and Newton's property?
Yeah, because common sense says that doesn't make sense. And I thought we were past this point. I agreed to put up partial fence. So I'm not sure why we're going back to this.
Just
But
asking.
if we want to force every business in the town to put a fence along the bordering property, then I'll consider it. I feel like me putting up the fence that I am at my cost to block off a neighbor that's constantly harassed me, that you guys seem to give power to. I agreed to it. I thought we were past that, but that's my reasoning. There's a massive hill of a septic grass area. We've gone over this 50 times, I feel like. So I'm not sure why we're revisiting it, but that is why. It's really common sense wise looking at it. There is no reason for a fence. I know you guys would like a fence because Newtons aren't happy and continue to press and
He
press.
doesn't want to do the fence. He's being an ass.
I'm sure
Hey,
it's-
John.
What? Who is he
John.
talking to?
John, you're on.
Right now, the town attorney just called me an ass on a public meeting. Are you kidding me? Yeah, good call, John Lange.
Sorry, Jeff. I
I'm
call
an
him as
ass. I feel like your letter that you wrote to the judge about me bashing me too, right?
All right, hold on. Again,
Wow.
I'm running the meeting here.
The town attorney called me an ass on a public forum.
All right, Jeff.
So we see how there's a biasness towards me when I'm spending tens of thousands of dollars and the town attorney calls me an ass.
Jeff, you just accused me of writing negative things to the court, didn't you?
I didn't. Do you want to read the letter out loud to the public?
All right,
Go
hold
ahead.
on.
Go ahead,
All
Jeff.
Hey,
Don't. I know. Don't smoke in mirrors to get away from you just calling me an ass on a public meeting.
gentlemen,
We want to. Oh.
we're in the discussion on this, on extending this. That's where we're
Right.
at.
And it shifted when the town attorney called me an ass, not realizing that he was on the meeting.
So let's continue with that discussion.
Jeff, I didn't deny it.
But you're standing by your statement of calling me an ass?
You were behaving that way.
Oh, so now we're paying you to
Okay,
behavioral. You're a behavioral scientist lawyer now.
all right, this
Is
is,
that class they gave you at college along with Slimeball 101?
all right,
I
listen,
mean,
we're gonna
Thank
Town
continue.
board, I'll let you get the rest of the meeting.
So,
This is insane, Jeff. Jeff Martin, we had a good conversation. Everything was supposed to be moving forward.
are
Yeah.
we gonna move forward? Are you gonna
hope so.
let me? All right, so
But just acknowledge the board saw how the attorney just was speaking.
conversation on extending this till next Wednesday. What time? I would need a time.
For
5
me,
o'clock is 5
5
o'clock
o'clock.
5
is
o'clock? 5 o'clock next Wednesday. Is there any issues with 5 o'clock next Wednesday?
No,
Okay, any further, oh, I'm frozen. Any further discussion on extending this till next Wednesday, which is the what, 27th?
Yeah, 27. So we got Briskevich making the motion, Carrie Ranger second it.
Yeah.
Roll call was all yeah, and 5 o'clock for the 27th.
Okay, are we done with the discussion? All right, let's do a
I
roll
think
call.
I'm good. I appreciate you guys' time. I don't appreciate being called an ass on the meeting, but that will be noted.
All right, Carrie Ranger. Can you hear me, Carrie? Aye. Okay.
Aye.
Tom Cop,
aye,
John Brashevich,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay, this will be our final discussion. It's been way too
Agree.
long. I think everybody's in agreement here. We're not going past next Wednesday. This has to be wrapped up and finished up. So, all right, is there any other further discussion on the PDD?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Who would the town attorney be talking to on a separate device that's filling him in that I'm being an ass? That's just a question that I would like to know.
Okay, I'm not,
I mean, that's fair, correct? I mean, that's a fair question that he's on a
We're all at
headset.
different locations right now.
yeah, we're all in
Right.
different locations.
That's a concern that maybe you should find out because it's not right. You know, you guys might think I do think whatever I'm a hothead, but that situation was not right and rather unprofessional and uncalled for.
Duly noted. All right, do we have anything else? Anybody else want to speak? Hearing nothing else, then, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I got a John Brashevich, so moved. A second,
I'll second it.
Tom seconded. Any further discussion? John B.,
Aye.
Carrie Ranger,
Aye.
Tom Cobb,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. Okay, this meeting has been adjourned. We'll see everyone next Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Beth, we need to make sure we get this notification out tomorrow. I'll be in touch with you or Katie, KDV. We'll have to make sure this gets done, okay?
Yep, will do.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.